Sivezisizwe Trust is a registered non-governmental organization whose mission is to bring disadvantaged children to the world stage, where they can realize their purpose, use their God-given talents to improve their lives, and positively impact the world. Registered in 2019, it is the brainchild of Vezi Bebe, who has a passion and a desire to help children that are in rural areas. Vezi grew up in a rural area and attended a primary school there. He fully understands the challenges faced by learners in disadvantaged communities. The main activities that Sivezisizwe Trust undertakes include the following: identifying deserving children in rural schools, providing scholarships and grants and necessary support to the identified learners, fundraising activities to facilitate payments of said grants and scholarships, exposing learners to relevant working environments through student attachments, conferences, and company visits.
I've been helping out kids, I don't know since when. And then it came to a point where, we got so many requests from different kids for us to help them with school fees and other things. So then we decided to say, look, maybe what we need to do is to bring other people, and we formalize this thing, because we were getting requests that were overwhelming on our side, and we couldn't help them anymore. So we decided to say, let's formalize this thing and bring other people to help us. Then I had to talk to some people in Zimbabwe. Our friends of mine, headmasters and other friends, and they like the idea of us, formalizing it, registering as a trust. I spoke to people like Stanley Tizora, who is a headmaster in Zimbabwe there, and so from there we registered as a trust, and then we were able then to approach other people to contribute and help us to help these kids. But I mean, it's been something that's been in my heart. It's something that I've been doing, but maybe not organized as we are now.
There are many children who are capable of doing well academically and are willing to work hard, but their progress is limited by so many factors. Being a student in rural Zimbabwe is challenging. There are financial challenges, as most families simply cannot afford to send their children to school. They usually walk long distances to and from schools. By the time the children get to school, they are too tired to fully concentrate and benefit from the lessons. There's the added burden of chores and other activities that have to be performed at home, before and after school. Homework can usually only be done at night, which requires lighting sources such as candles, which may not be readily available. Rural schools especially are burdened by teacher shortages, high transfer rates and resignations, with teachers preferring urban schools. This translates to a high teacher-to-student ratio, and in dire cases, learners do not have teachers at all. This is further worsened by a lack of infrastructure and a shortage of teaching materials and textbooks. Pass rates in rural areas are very low, and some schools have repeatedly recorded zero pass rates at primary and secondary level.
Our geographical location as Bubi is a place of gold. Yeah, a place of gold. So a lot of learners leave school for gold panning. That's a challenge, because they see no reason why they would stay at school, because we have learners that have done well, but they are still not employed. Some have done well, and they cannot access education further than high school. They are back home, and when they compare and contrast themselves to those that came to school, they see no reason. Right. And the other thing, our community, when it comes to role modeling, we expect as an academic institution, we expect that those that are educated, those that went through the academic system, be role models, right? We have nurses around, we have got teachers around, police officers around. They're just leading, an average to below average, standard of life. So our learners, most of them, when they go for gold planning and they stumble on 2 kilograms of gold, the next morning they've bought a house, and they've bought a car, and they say to their counterparts, look, what have you done? Look what I've done. I've done this, and look where I am. So look at your teacher, look at the nurse, look at the doctor, and of such kind of figures in the community are not doing well. It's quite difficult, right? So this is a very, very big challenge. And some of if you can go around our business center, there's a lot of activity that is going on that is associated to gold panning, money, as it were. Because when you get there at night, you see these young girls all over. Right? They are all over. They are making a quick buck.
There are some children who, despite those challenges, have managed to excel in their studies through sheer hard work and determination. They have shown that it is possible to get good grades while all the odds are against them. 2 boys achieved the impossible, fought a valiant fight, and now present their stories, dreams, and aspirations. They are from Bubi in Matabeleland North, from a rural secondary school called Somvubu. One is Brazen Ngwabi, and the other young man is Michael Ndlovu. Their ordinary and advanced level results far outclass results obtained by learners in urban areas.
Ngizafunda form 1 to form 4 ngazizwa kunzima kakhulu esikolo form 1 sasingena ngo-7 o'clock if I'm not mistaken. Ukusuka lapha ngisafika eSomvubu ngangikhawunta 2 hours 45 minutes. So lapha ngangivuka ma-3 ngilungisa into zami ngihamba ngabo 3:45 sengiqalisa ukuwalka chocho kuyakumnyama ngihambe ilanga lize lemphumela zangifika esikole kakhulu ngewinter ngangithwala nzima kakhulu kuyakuqanda okuzwayo hambe so akukusiba nzima kakhulu but ngisancane lebhasini wasiba ngcono but still akwanisi wasisemnyama so maybe ngabo 2:05 khonapho ncane lebhasikile kodwa ngayibhasi isikhathi esiningi ngalisifa vele ngesikhathi imvele endleleni kuyasemele ngiwalke ngiqedise umango so ngithwala kanzima kakhulu sibili awumango into engihlupha kakhulu kodwa ngilokho ngihamba nginjalo lokho ngihamba.
Brazen Ngwabi used to spend close to 6 hours daily walking to and from school, which was a distance of approximately 17 kilometers. Brazenev's parents are unemployed. His father is a blacksmith and sometimes gets casual work as a builder, while his mother is a vegetable vendor.
Mina ngubaba ophila ngokuzisebenza, ngiyazikhandela amabhava ami, ngiyake ngenza ama-piecework ekwakheni lapha. Kodwa ke imali ngiyayithola ikakhulu ezigwanela nje ukuthi ngithenga oshukela la khona kulutshwana. Kodwa ukuthi ngithole imali ukuthi umntwana sengambhadalela e-university even la kwe-primary kunzima ngoba umumo wakithi lapha unzima kakhulu uthola ukuthi udle ikakhulu ngesikhathi sase-COVID lakho bekungasebenzeki futhi lakho sike saphila ngomusa kaNkulunkulu nje ikakhulu thina ngapha besinceda ukuthi ikakhulu izwe lingana silime siphile ngoba sitshintshisa umumbu ma-cooking oil ma-biosepa impilo ihambe nje kodwa ukuthi ungathola imali yokuthi ubhadalele umntwana hayi kuzima.
They also practice subsistence farming in order to feed the family. After completing his ordinary level, Brezhnev went to Matopo High School, where he wrote his advanced level exams in 2020. Brezhnev wants to study medicine at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare.
I went for my A-level Matopo High School. Ngase ngithola uncedo khonapha Sivezisizwe Trust. Then I've just written my A-level exams last year in 2020. Nama results aphume ngo-April kathesi. Then I wrote sciences, maths, physics, chemistry and biology. Then I got 19 points. Then kathesi I'm expecting to take my university. Bengidinga nje uncedo ama-sponsors ukuthi angincedise ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngemfundo yami.
After Brezhnev completed his ordinary level, he was assisted by the trust, which sent him to Matopo High School, where he was a boarder and where he wrote his advanced level exams in 2020. Brezhnev wants to study medicine at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare. Brezhnev is not alone in his struggle. Meet Michael Ndlovu, who, like Brezhnev, also attended Somvubu High School. In his infancy, he was raised by his great-grandmother, and in his childhood years moved to live with his grandmother. His father abandoned his mother and she remarried, leaving Michael and his siblings under the care of their grandmother, Elizabeth Ndlovu. Sivezisizwe Trust also stepped in and sent Michael to Wanezi High School, where he wrote his advanced level exams in 2020 as well. Michael also has big dreams of moving out of the village and becoming an engineer.
Ngabhala ngo-2020 ngabhala i-A-level yami e-Wanezi High School. Then ngathi ngibhalile laphana ama-results asephuma currently kathesi 2021 ngoMay, ekuqaliseni kaMay. Ngaphuma le 11 points, A in mathematics and then level C ku physics and chemistry. So okwamanje nginesicelo lokudinga ama-sponsors for i-university yami. Ngifuna ukufurther ama-studies, ngifuna ukwenza i-engineering, mainly that has to do with ama-aeroplanes, aeronautical engineering. So yiyo bengisafuna ukucontinue ngayo for ama-studies ami. Ngiwafede and then ngizi-improve nje lami empilweni ngibe someone ole ozuza something, then okwanisa njalo ukunceda i-community and stuff, because lapho esiphuma khona sometimes ama-background bethu abanye abawavumela ukuthi ukwanisa ukucontinue ama-studies ethu.
Michael ngimthande kakhulu umntanami ngoba ubefunda epasa njalo ubengalovi esikolo, njalo lami bengamlovisi ukuthi utho abanye ogogo yathi hayi namhla uzangebhela ihlabathi la, uzangebhela engadini. Hayi ngibe laye ngimkhuthaza la khona kube kunzima kunjani esiya khona be-primary, kube kunzima sibili kodwa ngihamba ngicentela abantu lami ngihlakulela abantu ukuthi ngizuze khonokho kuncane kube kusabhadalwa la. Ngaze ngakhala ke ku-headmaster, ngafika ku-headmaster ngathi headmaster kungenisa umntanami kuSoloni. Wathi hayi gogo Michael uyaqhubekela phambili uzangena kuSoloni, njalo ayisimo engenisayo ungeniswa ngabantu. Yebo hayi alright baba, lami ngamlalela. Michael wafunda lapha waqede lokho epasa, kazange vele etshedele emuva. Wahamba waye eSomvubu. Efike eSomvubu Michael echaya. Lami ngahamba linda ngapululutsa ngajabula ngimamkela esepasile lapha. Ngamamkela sesiyamkela isipho. Ngajabula bathi mana gogo sikuthatha umpikitsha, abanthatha umpikitsha khona ngale sikolo. Michael lo ukhule nzima ngoba umntwana ongalaba bakhe.
I'm the teacher that taught these boys, Michael and Brezhnev Ngwabi, Michael Ndlovu. I spotted their potential when they were in Form 1. They were just brilliant and they were focused. You know, it's rare to find students who are Form 1 who come and approach, who are inquisitive. They were so innovative, creative. Then I said, those are the boys. That's my dream. They will be my legacy.
I think really having these points that he has, if he manages to get some place at a good university, I think he's going to work very well. and do something for his life, because he's a guy full of potential that you can actually pick from the rest of the class, which he really knows what he's doing, and given a chance, he will not disappoint. I can assure you of that.
I tell you, right from the first test up to the final exam, Praise never scored less than an A grade mark. He indeed was a brilliant young man. Just a brief story about him. Brilliant as he was, in 2020, he decided to sit for ZIMSEC examinations in June, and we spoke about it, we discussed, and eventually we agreed that yes, he can sit for the exam. Unfortunately, due to this COVID era, the COVID problem, we had to close early in March, but by then we had already covered the syllabus. So in as far as syllabus coverage was concerned, they were ready for the exam. But of course, we needed to fine-tune some areas here and there. So he came in for the June exams, wrote the exams. Then when the results came out, Praise had a B in mathematics. Knowing him as I did, I knew very well that he was not happy about that mark. We again came to the round table, we discussed his performance. Then he said he wants an A grade, so he'll go for the exam for the second time. Knowing Praise as I did, I had 100% confidence in him that he will make it, since only the best was good for him, not the good being the best. So the B was good enough, but not the best for him. But an A grade was the best for him. So he sat for the exams and got that A grade. So we are very proud of him.
While waiting for assistance to proceed to university, Michael and Brezhnev are back at Somvubu High School as volunteer teachers in the classrooms they sat as students just over 2 years prior to now.
We have about five kids that did well in A level, and they are looking up to us to help them to advance with their studies. And also there's another girl that we've just sent to Mikle State University. She's doing social work there. So you get an average of maybe 4 or 5 requests, every week. And it's overwhelming. And all these cases, it's not cases that you just look at and dismiss, but they are cases that are deserving of our assistance. We've been working over time, trying to pull resources together to help these kids that come to us. If you help one kid, there is something called the word of mouth. If you help one kid, that kid is going to tell somebody, and that somebody is going to tell somebody. And at the end of the day, you get so many of these requests that are coming to you. So in terms of struggling, getting these kids, we don't struggle, but our desire is to get even more. And we also go out there and ask for even more help so that people can see, because sometimes there are people who want to help, but they don't have, access to these kids, or they don't even know that they are kids like this. An example is, I talk to my friends around here, some Zimbabweans, some even Americans, they are shocked that there are things like that are happening. So when you talk to them, then they realize, okay, there's something like this, and then they'll say, okay, look, I'm gonna help this kid. So that's what we want to do, to be out there and say these kids should come to us, and we'll do everything possible to connect them with people that can help them.
These boys and many other children like them need someone to invest in their future by exposing them to different environments that will make it possible to study and focus on their studies without distractions.